Right. So imagine this. Floyd Mayweather, the man who spent 2 decades telling the world he was the greatest, the richest, the untouchable Money Mayweather, is now under IRS investigation, being sued by Logan Paul, being sued by a Miami jeweler, has unpaid rent on a luxury Manhattan apartment, has staff at his own gym eating free Chick-fil-A because they cannot afford real food, and his gym, the Mayweather boxing gym in Las Vegas, the one with his name on the sign, has just been bought by Manny Pacquiao, the man he owes a real fight to, the man whose contract he just breached, the man he has been ducking, dodging, and gaslighting for the better part of a year. Manny Pacquiao just bought Floyd Mayweather's gym, and Floyd is absolutely losing it. Stay with me because this story is not just wild, it is historic. To understand why this moment hits different, you need to go back to late 2025. Floyd Mayweather signs a deal with Netflix. Mayweather vs. Pacquiao 2, September 19, 2026. The Sphere in Las Vegas. Professionally sanctioned fight. Floyd's 50-0 record on the line. The biggest rematch in boxing history on the biggest streaming platform in the world. And here is where it gets interesting. Floyd did not just sign once. He signed 3 separate contracts. October 24th, November 6th, December 14th. All 3 explicitly state this is a real professional fight. All 3 have his signature, his device ID, his IP address, everything documented. And Floyd collected deposit payments on every single one. Not just that, he also took a cash advance on the actual fight purse, borrowed against a fight that had not happened yet. So at this point, Floyd has signed 3 contracts, pocketed money from all 3, and borrowed against the main purse. Netflix makes the announcement. The Sphere is confirmed. The boxing world is buzzing. Everything is locked in and the momentum is real. And then Floyd goes to a meet and greet at Caesar's Palace and tells reporters on camera that it is not actually a fight. It is an exhibition. I am not even joking. He said it with a straight face. After signing 3 contracts, after taking the money, after Netflix announced it globally as a professional bout, he stood there and called it an exhibition. Pacquiao's CEO went on ESPN immediately and declared Floyd officially in breach of contract. Not potentially, not allegedly, officially. And Pacquiao himself was clear. No exhibition, real fight or nothing. And he is not coming back with a lawyer. He is coming back with a purchase agreement. Now, while all of that is unfolding, think about what is happening behind the scenes with Floyd's actual business. Because this is the part that most people are sleeping on, and you need to hear this. The Mayweather boxing gym in Las Vegas, Floyd's own gym, his brand, his name on the wall, was reportedly on the verge of being shut down. And it is not because of bad management in the abstract sense. It is because staff were not getting paid. Real people, coaches, trainers, people who quit other jobs to work there because they believed in the opportunity. One coach named Frank came out publicly and said they had not been getting paid fairly, and it was destroying their mental health. They were surviving on free Chick-fil-A cards donated by a gym member who worked there. Think about that. Staff at the Mayweather boxing gym were eating fast food charity because their paychecks were not coming. Another coach named William said he quit his corporate job for this role, was promised a head position, and ended up dealing with unpaid wages on a consistent basis. They got locked out of the payroll system, could not check their hours, could not access their tax documents, could not even file taxes properly because the paperwork did not exist. These are real people whose lives got genuinely disrupted. And then there is the IRS situation. Floyd is reportedly under investigation and allegedly owes $7 million to the IRS. They are looking to put a lien on his assets. This is on top of $1.4 million owed to a Miami jeweler for watches and chains, over $300,000 in unpaid rent on a luxury Manhattan apartment, and Logan Paul confirming on camera that Floyd owes him somewhere between $2 and $5 million from their exhibition fight. Logan said Floyd sold his name and likeness to Qatar without telling him, pocketed around $10 million in cash from ticketing deals, and there is an active lawsuit over it in New York right now. I am not even done yet. Floyd is simultaneously suing Showtime for $340 million, claiming his former manager Al Heyman misappropriated hundreds of millions from his career earnings, including the Pacquiao and McGregor fight paydays. He says he made over $1 billion across his career, but claims it never actually reached his bank account, so Floyd is broke, suing everyone around him, and taking cash advances from Netflix for a fight he is trying to turn into an exhibition. So here is where both stories crash into each other at full speed. Pacquiao finds out the Mayweather boxing gym is on the verge of collapse. Staff are not being paid. The business is crumbling. And Manny Pacquiao, the man Floyd breached a contract with, the man Floyd has been calling this an exhibition to avoid fighting properly, goes and buys the gym, Floyd's gym, with Floyd's name on it. Right. Let that sink in for a second.
So apparently Floyd has gone broke. I'm not really shocked because by where that guy spends, you can tell the money was going to end at eventually anyway. But yeah, so apparently Manny Pacquiao said that the reason why Floyd didn't want to take the fight is because he doesn't want to risk his O as well. He doesn't want to risk his O, so he can keep taking his exhibition, so he can keep making this quick change. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's what I've been saying to you guys. Take a look at this.
I think he's scared of losing. I mean, he's scared of losing because that's his, his leverage for, to go around and have exhibition because of his undefeated record.
Manny Pacquiao is playing mind games right now, bro. You guys don't know, he just bought Floyd's gym as well. He just bought Floyd Mayweather's gym, bro. Imagine buying your rival's gym. Take a look at this.
Pacquiao is now the owner of Mayweather's gym. Folks, this report comes directly from Pacquiao himself along with the Associated Press, in which it was confirmed that yes, Manny Pacquiao has acquired and is now the new owner of Mayweather's old gym. The place is now getting rebranded to Pacquiao Prime Boxing after Manny basically walked into Floyd's old gym and said, yeah, this is mine now.
Yeah, nah, I'm not gonna lie. It's fair to say Floyd won the battle, but Pacquiao won the war, bro. Yeah, Pacquiao won the war, bro.
The man Floyd owes a real fight to just walked into his business and bought it out from under him, while Floyd is under IRS investigation, being sued by multiple parties, and publicly in breach of a Netflix contract. Pacquiao did not just win a legal argument, he made a financial statement. He essentially said, while you are out here playing games with contracts and calling sanctioned fights exhibitions, I just acquired your gym. And Floyd's response was to explode. He went on record insisting he earned everything the hard way, that he came from nothing, that he is not bragging about illegal money, that everything he has was built legitimately through blood, sweat, and sacrifice. Which, right, might be true about his boxing career, but it does not explain the IRS debt. It does not explain the unpaid gym staff. It does not explain why Logan Paul is owed millions. It does not explain 3 signed contracts and a cash advance on a fight he is now calling an exhibition. The contrast here is almost too clean. Pacquiao is buying assets. Floyd is losing them. Pacquiao is calm and methodical. Floyd is exploding publicly. Pacquiao spent years being the underdog in negotiations, waiting 5 years just to get the first fight made. And now he is the one making power moves, while Floyd is putting out fires on every single front. The internet has absolutely not held back on this one. People are pointing to the fact that Floyd used to openly mock Muhammad Ali for his financial struggles in later life. The boxing community is noting loudly that Floyd is now allegedly in a worse financial position than Ali ever was, and doing it publicly, messily, and with a Netflix contract in breach at the same time. Teddy Atlas made a point that resonated widely. He said, when you spend decades branding yourself as Money Mayweather, flashing cash, posting betting slips, buying cars, buying chains, you set yourself up for exactly this reaction when things go sideways. He is not wrong. The brand that made Floyd untouchable is now the thing making every setback feel like poetic justice to half the internet. Dana White said Floyd could be looking at federal consequences if he keeps breaching this contract. His exact words were, "There is not enough money in it to ruin your life and not go to jail." That is not a random commentator. That is someone who has known Floyd since the amateur days, telling him directly that he is in dangerous territory. Here is the thing that nobody wants to say out loud, but everybody is thinking. Floyd Mayweather built an entire empire on the idea that money solves everything and the zero protects everything. The undefeated record justified every payday. The cash on Instagram justified every exhibition. The brand of being Money Mayweather justified everything else. But right now, the zero is not protecting him. The brand is not protecting him. The IRS does not care about 50 to 0. The jeweler does not care about 50 to 0. Logan Paul's lawyers definitely do not care about 50 to 0. And Manny Pacquiao, who just bought his gym, clearly does not care about 50 to 0 either. Floyd built a fortress out of money and invincibility, and right now, both walls are coming down at the same time. Here is my hot take, and I want to see you argue about this in the comments. Floyd Mayweather is not broke because he was bad at boxing. He is broke because he genuinely believed the money would never stop, and he never had anyone around him willing to tell him otherwise. Every yes man, every enabler, every person who let him take cash advances and walk away from obligations, they all contributed to this moment. Pacquiao buying that gym is not just a business move, it is a message, and that message is simple. You cannot outrun the consequences forever. Drop in the comments, do you think Floyd dug his own grave, or did the people around him fail him? I genuinely want to know what you think. Subscribe if you are new. We cover stories like this every week. See you in the next one.